Hi, teacher.
Hello, guys. Hello, Jorge.
Vamos aquí juntos, Jorge y yo.
Hello, Albita.
Oiga, ya
El,
le hemos volteado de cabeza porque
no sé, el mundo me trae de cabeza.
ya vino.
I don't know. Es que es viernes, muchachos, y el cuerpo ya lo sabe.
That's right.
Okay. Muy bien, muchachones. Bueno, vamos a pasar. Voy a compartir pantalla.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, today we are going to check indirect speech. Say and tell. Okay, los dos, both of them means the same, but the use is different, yes? Don't forget, say is when you don't address anybody, see? And tell is when you address somebody directly, see? Say
Sí.
es cuando no te diriges en nadie en específico. Pero tell, ahí sí te estás dirigiendo hacia alguien en específico. Por ejemplo, yo les puedo decir, I can say, the president say that taxes won't increase next year. ¿Sí? El presidente dijo, ¿por qué? Porque en sí no se dirigió a alguien en específico, ¿sí? Y por ejemplo, tell, my teacher told us o tells, ¿a quién les dijo? Me dijo a mí, ¿sí? Ya se dirigió a alguien directamente, que fue a mí. Por eso es la diferencia entre say y tell. Eso es lo que vamos a ver hoy. Bueno, vamos a ver. Fíjense bien. Let's check this one. Preview. Historic disasters. Can you remember some historic disasters?
Yes.
Which one, Albita?
The earthquake, the 1855 earthquake.
The earthquake.
The earthquake in San Francisco too.
That's right. The earthquake in San Francisco, okay.
The epidemic too. The epidemic no.
too. The pandemic, the COVID. What else?
And in the magazine, the blizzard in some years that was very cold. I don't know in what part, but it was very cold.
Yes, I remember that. Okay, so here we have some examples of those as the historic disasters. The first one, look at this black and white picture. It says the influenza epidemic of the 19 to 1918 to 1919 left an estimated 25 million people dead worldwide. My goodness.
More than COVID.
Yes, more than COVID. That's right. I don't know why. Maybe because there wasn't a vaccine. Maybe, I don't know. Okay. The blizzard of 2013 in pictures. February 2013. I don't remember.
What does mean blizzard?
Blizzard is like wait a minute.
A storm of snow.
A storm of snow.
Look at, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. A storm with snow. That's a blizzard. Tormenta de nieve.
Tormenta de nieve.
That's right. In February 2013, a major blizzard hit the northeastern of USA with heavy snowfall and high winds. Snowfall in some areas reached 100 centimeters, causing travel delays, school closures, and power outage. That's a blizzard. And
1 meter, no? 1 meter of snow.
1 meter of snow. Imagine that.
Too much.
I don't, maybe just como que I remember something about that. in 2013, yes. Okay, so, and the last one, this between 2010 and 2012, 2060, 100,000 people died in Somalia in one of the worst food shortage in modern history. I remember too. I remember that too. I don't know, no. Do you remember that video with "We Are the World"?
Yes, Michael Jackson.
With Michael Jackson.
With Michael Jackson.
That video was because that. Oh.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Yes, es to donar tips for the hambruna
Hunger.
in Somalia, in Africa.
Yes, no, pobres, eso no les llueve, les llovizna, pero en fin. Bueno, vamos a ver. Now, this is a discussion. Discuss one or more of the topics about the content of the news. Number one, please, Alvita.
The influenza? No. When history is about natural disasters such as epidemic, famines, and weather emergencies appear in the news. Are you interested in knowing about them? Why or why not?
What do you think?
What does mean famines?
Hambre.
¿Hambrunas?
Sí, así es.
Somos famélicos. Okay.
Así es. No, velos, bueno, pobrecillos. Okay. So, tell me. Are you interested about these stories or about this information?
Yes.
Yes? Why, Elvita?
Because it's important to know what happened in the world. Because maybe it's happening in Mexico. Bueno, can happen?
Can happen in Mexico. Yeah.
In Mexico. With the influenza, bueno, for example, the COVID, we never believe that the COVID arise in Mexico. Bueno, yes.
I remember when everything started in China.
In China, in 2019.
Yes, 2000.
It started in China in November, December, and we never thought the epidemic come to Mexico.
That's right. I agree. I said only in China. Nothing.
Yes.
No.
Nothing happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks that. Yes.
Pero sí pasa.
Que sí pasó.
Yes.
Sí, that's right. Yes. Mayra, what about you? Ay, ya se salió Mayra. Creo. Sí. Okay. See, but what happened? Oh, it was terrible. Well,
yes.
Number two, George, please.
Why do newspapers often put stories like this one, on the front page?
Why?
Because if they put some interesting something that it is important, a lot of people buy and read the newspaper or the magazines, and because it's interesting, and most people, they sell more newspaper and they sell more magazines. I think so.
Yeah, no, yes, that's true. It's like a little bit of amarillismo, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Así es. Okay, number three, Alvita.
Not all disasters are caused by nature. What are some other kinds of disasters? What are some of their causes? Not all disasters are caused by nature, but what are some other kinds of disaster? One other kind of disaster is the pandemic.
The pandemic,
Yes.
caused by the
Yes.
The accidents,
The
automobile accidents, the flights, or how do you say,
Airplane crash.
Airplane crash.
Yes, airplane crash. Trains crash. Too.
Yesterday was a very huge accident in the highway of Mexico, Querétaro.
Oh, yes, the trailer.
It's about 12 cars and a trailer, and 12 cars and a lot of people injured.
My goodness. But what happened?
The trailer, they say that the brakes didn't
Broken.
the brakes broken.
That's why. Too bad. People. Poor people.
Yeah,
But
they were about 5 or more than 5 hours just waiting in the highway. And the,
20 cars was
involved.
were involved.
20 cars.
Poor people. It was like, well, do you remember around 15 days ago the train? No, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Here in Mexico.
Yes, oh, no.
Alvita was working for the radio.
No, es que this day ¿cómo se fui? I went to Liverpool, no, bueno, fábricas de Francia. And when I stayed the Puente Bridge, de López Mateos y Américas por ahí, I saw the smoke, black smoke, pero a big. And then my sister tell me that no vaya, don't go for this way, because a pipa, no sé cómo se dice en inglés, pipa, crash with the train.
Yes.
Yes, poor people.
Oh, yeah, in La Mexico, in the
yes, a lot of house was
40
en fuego.
Yes,
in fire. In fire.
Yes, I live in Jardines del Sol. Is back of the
Viernes. It's near from there, huh?
Yes, it is very near or very close to the accident. And we haven't paid attention about anything, but suddenly the light went out, and you say, oh, maybe the how do you say transformador?
Yes.
And we start to listen. Somebody, the police was running or passing around the neighborhood. And was selling, everybody leave the house, please. You said, oh, my goodness, what happened? Then I watch outside of the house, and I start to see people running. They say, my goodness, what happened? And some of my neighbors told us, hey, come on, leave the house and closer, and leave the house because there was a bad explosion, and maybe they could be another one. So that was when we start to get nervous.
No,
but it was
terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible.
And so you live near to the Soriana?
Yes, back of.
Oh, yes, yes. It's near from. De ¿cómo se dice tortillería?
Pues tortillería. No hay.
Bueno, que es tortillería.
It gets on fire. Yes, there.
The tortillería bueno, it was in my fire too.
Yeah.
In the past I bought there cheese from Calvillo. Yes, poor people.
Yeah, and
yes.
the pinturas.
Ay, también uno de pinturas, es cierto, a un lado. Cierto. Y una ferretería. Pues todo se da, everything was
on fire.
Yes, poor people.
Yes.
Pero I can't believe that then there isn't any, how do you say, injured people, ¿cómo se dice?
No,
heridos.
nobody was hurted.
Nobody was there too.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle.
Yes, thanks God. Yes, it was very impressive.
Yes.
And but we were nervous because people who live there in Jardines del Sol, we got nervous because there's a gacera.
Ouch.
Because
yeah.
yes, we got nervous because of that. We thought, imagine if the fire gets or reach the gacera.
No.
Goodbye.
No, sorry. Bye. No, que no
But
was.
I think the driver of the trailer was guilty.
Yes.
He was very. ¿Cómo se dice?
I saw the video in the, o sea, de trailer. O sea, la cabina apenas acababa de pasar, o sea, ni siquiera iba en la cola del trailer, o sea, no sé cómo se atrevió. No entiendo.
I saw that. Yeah, I don't know. It was a miracle because he was alive.
Yes.
Oh, no. He survived.
Yes.
But poor guy, I don't know what happened to him, but because he has, I don't know if
he's in jail. He's in jail.
He's in jail.
That's what the news said. I don't know if he's still in jail, but they told that he's in jail because I think he causes a lot of problems, a lot of damage. A lot of damage.
Yes, the houses, the businesses, and
the cars, the people.
The railway too.
Yes.
And the bridge too.
The bridge.
No, ni con toda su vida le va a alcanzar.
No.
Poor people, poor guy.
Poor guy, yes. I don't know what.
Poor people they live there.
Live there.
Yes. Por una imprudencia.
Yes, that's right. Well, okay, let's continue. So, we were talking about natural disasters. Look at this photo story. Ok, déjenme hacerlo un poquito más pequeña. Ya sé. Ok, dice, read and listen to a conversation about a natural disaster. Yeah? Look at this guy. I was like hurt when happened that. That was my face. Okay. So please, George and Alvita, can you read the conversation?
Okay. Oh my goodness! Take a look at this.
Why? What's going on?
There's this enormous flood in Slovakia. Look at these people on the roof. The water's up to the second floor. And look at this car. I sure hope there was no one in them.
That sounds horrendous.
Yeah.
Anywhere on casualty.
It say no reports on deaths or injuries so far, but it's in the middle of the city. For goodness sake, the death toll could end up being huge.
Can you imagine the property damage?
Well, they estimate almost 50% of the houses in town are underwater already.
What a disaster.
I wonder how this flood compares to the one they have in New Orleans a few years back. Remember that?
You bet I do. How could anyone forget? And that flooded almost half of the city too.
Let's turn on CNN. They usually have breaking news about stuff like this.
Okay. Now let's switch the roles, please.
Oh my goodness! Take a look at this.
Why? What's going on?
There is an enormous flood in Slovakia. Look at these people on the roof. The water's up to the second floor. And look at these cars. I'm sure hope there was no one in them.
That sounds horrendous. Any word on
Casualty.
casualties?
Mhm.
It says no reports of deaths or injuries so far, but it is in the middle of a city. For goodness sake, the death toll could end up being huge.
Mhm.
And can you imagine the property damage?
Well, they estimate almost 50% of the houses in town are underwater already.
What a disaster.
I wonder how this flood compares to the one they had in New Orleans a few years back. Remember that?
You bet I do. How could anyone forget? And what flooded almost half in the city too.
Let's turn on the CNN. They usually have breaking news about stuff like this.
Excellent. Perfect. Now, questions about vocabulary.
Yes, this for goodness sake.
For goodness sake, es como decir gracias a Dios. Thanks godness.
Una
Pero
expresión.
sake,
Ajá. Es,
Es una expresión.
es una expresión. Es like
and the death toll could the death toll could.
el total de muertos o fallecidos.
What does mean toll?
Toll es like a totally.
Could end
Pudo terminar o incrementarse.
being huge.
Enormous.
Being huge.
Being
Like here in Aguascalientes.
Yeah. Okay. John already disaster. Flor es inundar, ¿verdad?
Absolutely. Yes.
Stuff.
Stuff like things.
About estas cosas. all this stuff.
Cosas.
Okay, no voy aquí a ver. Okay. Okay.
Okay, yes. Well,
Yes.
do you remember, for example, they mentioned the New Orleans hurricane?
Yes.
It
The
was,
hurricane.
it was de Katrina.
Sí, Katrina,
Yes.
was Katrina, hurricane.
Yes, yes, I remember.
Katrina Hurricane over there. Yes, I remember, but I don't remember the name. Was Katrina?
Was Katrina.
De Katrina. It was a terrible.
Yes.
Yes,
A
almost.
lot of people dead.
Almost all the city flooded.
Yes.
Flooded.
Yes, that's right. Okay, but most of the people, I don't know, most of the people who were flooded, they were Black people.
Yes.
Maybe the region where they live in New Orleans.
Oh, because in New Orleans there are a lot of
Black
people of color, Black people. They live a lot of Black people. That's what I think. I don't know.
Yes.
Yes, maybe yes. See, that's true. I would like to know New Orleans because I don't know what's the name of this festival.
The
Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras, that's right. Yes. I think it's very colorful and very, how do you say, happy? I don't know. Have you been there, the Mardi Gras festival?
I haven't been in Mardi Gras, but I haven't been in that street. That is a lot of party, a lot of canteen, a lot of bars, a lot of everything. It's okay. Music, a lot of music. It's really nice. It's really colorful. How do you say?
Yeah, colorful, colorido, colorful.
Colorido, it's nice. I have been.
Bourbon Street.
Bourbon Street, yes.
Bourbon Street. Yeah, Bourbon Street. Okay, maybe someday. Well, let's continue. Now, focus on language. Complete each statement with words or phrases from the photo story. Number 1, please, George.
2 words that means very big are huge and great, or what? Huge.
Enormous. For example.
Enormous.
No, no, no.
Enormous.
Over here,
Yeah.
okay, over here. Enormous. Okay.
Enormous, yes. Huge
Okay,
and enormous.
okay, number 2, Alvita, the number.
The number of the deaths, no?
Or other words. Other words.
In your people, no.
The number of the tolls.
Told,
No.
or
Of the
casual.
toll.
¿Dónde? Fue
There's
lo que pregunté.
Sí, toll.
Death toll.
told, o hay
toll.
otro. Casualties. ¿Ahí dónde está? Aquí está. Or casualties. Aquí
What
está.
do you mean casualties? ¿No es
Muertes.
casualidad?
Casualidad.
¿Casualties?
Ajá.
What does it mean?
Pérdidas. Humanas.
Dice que era casualidad, por eso le
Ay,
pregunté.
no, pérdidas humanas. Ok. Number 3.
A new word for me.
Okay.
Because the more people that are injured, killed and yeah, okay.
Okay. George, number 3, please.
A two-word phrase that means the destruction of or a harm to building, cars, and other things that belong to victims of an event. It's harm, building, disaster. No.
There's another one. Property.
Property damage.
Property
damage.
Okay. Alvita, number 4.
A two-word expression that is used to describe the first news reports on an important event that is happening. The present is. I can see it. Oh, there. Aquí está. Breaking news.
Breaking news, that's right. Breaking news. Muy bien. Now, let's continue. Check your news sources and write an advantage and disadvantage for each one. Okay, newspaper. They said one of the advantage is you can save an article. And one disadvantage is not as up to date as online news. That's correct, yes? So we are going to discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of each one of the news sources, pardon. Okay, newspaper, tell me an advantage or advantages.
But you have the news in a paper. You can see it again, or you can see it from the day before or after later. It's a disadvantage because everybody throws the newspaper to the trash.
But you can use to clean the windows.
Oh yes, very good. Yes, you can clean the window. You can fire the boiler too. Bueno, many years ago. Okay.
Disadvantage, garbage.
That's one of the disadvantage, garbage. Any other one?
No, that's not today on the news.
No.
Advantage.
Disadvantage. The garbage.
Sometimes in the newspaper, when you read a news, you already know that news from other sides, from the TV or from the internet.
You have to wait to the next day to read the newspaper, and now you can see the news at the moment in internet.
Yes, that's right. Sí, cierto.
Bueno, pues it's the second one, internet news sites.
The news sites, yes. But I don't know if that happened to you, but I don't like to read news on the internet. I prefer to buy the newspaper. I don't know why. Maybe because I belong to the old school. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but that's.
Yes, I don't like it. I don't know. I don't like to read books on the internet.
Yes.
To buy
It's better in paper.
Yes. I don't know. Well, it depends. Well, what about TV or radio newscast?
That you have the news, the advantages that you have the news recently. They happened 2 hours ago. The disaster yesterday. They have it. The accident passed 2 hours before. They were saying the news in the TV. You have the news right away. No? Even if you are not in the place, if you are not in the town, or the disadvantage that they repeat the news
all day.
all day.
The same news all day.
Yes, that's true. Yes. Okay. A weekly news magazine.
For example, Times. So what's kind of magazine?
For
weekly news. What is
Times?
Times. Okay. Yes, because most of the magazines is per monthly.
Yes.
I suppose. Okay. For
In
example.
the past, I love to read magazines.
Yes.
But now I prefer to see in the cell phone.
Oh yes.
On the iPad.
Do you
prefer blanco y negro?
You prefer black and like.
Yeah, he likes the chismes.
Yo. So que tú.
You?
Yes, I love to see the, how do you say chisme?
Gossips.
Gossips. Gossip news.
Yeah, bueno, sí, para estar enterado de todo, sí.
Yes.
Okay.
I have to tell something.
That's right. Well, muy bien. Do you remember, or did you used to like to read, for example, the selecciones?
Yes, my father bought.
It was a good magazine.
Yes.
Which other? In my house, in my parents' house, there used to be selecciones, vanidades, and
Me too.
Nat Geo, and
Which
Geo.
one?
Nat Geo. National Geographic.
National Geographic.
Yes.
It's a really nice magazine, that one. A nice photo.
Yeah. And do you remember what was contenido?
Yes. También. I like it.
I remember that one too.
And also, I have my how do you say, my bookcase. I have my house. I have my bookcase, and I have a lot of selecciones from the 70s, 80s.
Yes.
Yes, because an uncle of mine used to collect them.
See. I love this magazine.
And I have the contenido and selecciones.
Uy.
From the 60s, 70s, 80s.
Qué padre.
Sometimes I take selecciones and I start to read. And I remember when it was the first time I read that article. Yes.
Yeah, they have a lot of how do you say, consejos, advices.
No, pero tenemos muchas secciones que me gustan.
Advices.
Como la querida tía Alma.
Yes, I remember. Okay, yes. And what else? Gajes del oficio.
That says, like, selecciones says, take it easy, just count from 1 to 10.
That's right. What else? Another reflections or something, reflecciones about life or something like that. Yes, it was a very good magazine.
Yes.
Well.
Pero el rincón de la tía Alma me gustaba.
Yes.
Luego, gajes del oficio, la risa remedio infalible.
Sí, enriquezca su vocabulario. Buenas.
Time magazine has a lot of good articles, and it has very interesting articles. Sometimes about all the world and about all politics and economics and everything, and it's very interesting. They use a very specialized English, or how you say
Yeah.
it?
Yes. Mhm.
In English, that it is it's a very good English, but very difficult to understand sometimes.
Yes. Very is like a technical English.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So word of mouth. Do you prefer
What is
word of
what is word of mouth? Excuse me.
de palabra, o sea, de, ¿cómo le decimos? Por palabra, por boca de alguien.
Ah, yes.
Ujú.
Oh, if you want to know, just ask Albita. She knows.
Y de I don't know, I invent.
Ah, yes. Ay, Martita, eres tremenda. You are amazing. Okay, yes. But I suppose this is the best one. Word of mouth.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Tell me advantages about this way of communication.
The advantages of word of mouth,
Uh-huh.
I think, is very important because a lot of history,
Hola.
a lot of stories,
Que
a
estoy
lot
en la
of
clase.
a lot of
¿Le pidas
things,
un garrafón de agua para mañana, por favor?
Okay.
a lot of the stories, a lot of histories. They are
Sí.
we know it because of word of mouth. You know, from one
Okay.
generation to another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. Even in the very a long time ago, that was the way how people know news.
News and knows history and knows
Yes.
geography, knows everything.
Okay. I don't know. Once I read that in the history when they used to be queens or kings, pero no, they used to have a name. Las personas que cantaban iban diciendo como que las noticias, pero cantaban.
Yes.
¿Dónde?
Yes, in the history, yes.
Ajá.
Yes, I don't remember how they call it, but they went they go to each town just yelling all the news. Yes,
Yes, that's true. Mhm. That was the way. That was the way they communicate and pass the news. Okay.
Heraldo.
El Herald, that's right. Pues por eso that's why the name.
That's why they say the Heraldo. The
Yes.
newspaper is El Heraldo because El Heraldo was a person who was in another town just telling all the news about the yes the towns. Yeah.
Yes, it's cierto. I remember Heraldo. Muy interesting. Now you tell me a disadvantage of that way of communicate news.
A lot of lies.
Yes.
De que hablas de boca en boca. La noticia
Word of mouth. Así es. A lot of lies y ahí, si no hiciste nada ya, te quemaron ahí.
Yes.
Okay, let's continue. So, next. Ahora sí, grammar. Indirect speech, imperatives. To report, or we use indirect speech to report what someone said without quoting the exact words. Use indirect speech. Don't use quotation marks when you write indirect speech. Otra vez, one more time.
What does mean quoting?
Quotation son estas, miren. Estas. ¿Cómo les dicen?
Entre comillas.
Ajá, entre las comillas.
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 Quoting.
Quoting. Quotation marks. Quotation marks. Okay, one more time. To report what someone said without quoting the exact words, use indirect speech. ¿Sí? Cuando no lo queremos decir así, tal cual. ¿Y qué usamos?
Entre comillas, quoting.
Así es. And don't use quotation marks when you write indirect speech. Cuando lo escribes, ahí sí ya, bueno, más bien, Aquí es direct speech. Peter said, be careful if you go out during the storm. Así es. And indirect speech. Peter said to be careful if you go out during the storm. Esto es cuando lo dice directamente él y lo estás escribiendo, ¿sí? That's when we use the quotation marks. Pero cuando ya lo vas a reportar a alguien más, es cuando we eliminate or drop off the quotation marks. Y no lo decimos tal cual, como lo dijo él, sino que ya le modificas un poquito. Y dice, Peter said to be, infinitive of the verb, careful if you go out during the storm. ¿Se fijan? Él lo dice así, be careful if you go out during the storm. Cuando ya lo pasas, como quien dice el chisme, you switch the verb into the infinitive form y desaparecen las comillas. To be careful if you go out during the storm. ¿Sí, muchachos? That's the difference, direct and indirect speech. Okay. An imperative indirect speech becomes an infinitive in indirect speech. Parece de trabalenguas. An imperative in indirect speech becomes an infinitive in indirect speech. They said, read the weather report. No hay forma infinitiva, ¿se fijan? Y es tal como le dijeron, por eso lo ponemos entre comillas. Read the weather report. Y es una forma que imperativa. Haz esto. Read the weather report.
Okay.
Ok. They said, ya cuando pasamos de la información, they said to read the weather report. ¿Ya? Ok. Another example. She says, don't go out without a full tank of gas. Así lo dijo ella, tal cual. Don't go out without a full tank of gas. Como yo lo voy a pasar, she says,
not
go out. And the auxiliary disappeared. ¿Se fijan? El auxiliar desapareció. Y lo modificamos a su forma infinitiva. Not. Not to go out without a full tank of gas. ¿Sí? ¿Hasta ahorita no hay dudas?
No.
No?
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, George?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. I think I understood.
Okay, the last part. Change the pronouns in indirect speech as necessary for logic. Fíjense bien. Change the pronouns in indirect speech as necessary for logic. Example, Martin said, tell me as soon as you know. Indirect speech. Martin told me to tell him as soon as I know. Aquí hay que cambiar. Dice, Martin told me, porque ya me dijo directamente a mí. Sí, ya me lo dijo directo. No lo dijo así a nadie en general. Aquí ya me dio la noticia a mí. Martin told me, y obviamente lo modificamos a pasado. Tell, switch into the
Okay.
sí, porque ya me lo dijo. Martin told me infinitive. Told me to tell him. Ya no voy a repetir Martin. Lo voy a sustituir por un objeto directo. Un objeto pronombre. Him en este caso. Martin told me to tell him as soon as I know. You lo modifico a I. ¿Sí? Él me dijo que le dijera tan pronto como yo lo supiera. Ay, parece trabalenguas. Ok. Another example. She told me, please call me when you get home. Indirect speech. She asked me, cuando me piden que haga algo, acuérdense que es ask. She asked me to call her when I get home. A ver, denle otra leidita en silencio. procesen toda esta información.
Teacher, this week there isn't homework.
Sí, sí hay. No
Pues
parece. Ahorita lo checo.
No.
Ahorita lo checo.
Okay, because I'm very happy.
You were very happy. Ay, Alvita. No, sí, ahorita lo checo. Inmediatamente.
Sí, mira, chécala, sí, porque ahorita acabo de entrar a la página para ver lo de la tarea y no viene, nada más viene, o sea, viene material requerido, o sea, lo que son los object clause with subject relative, object clause with object relative pronouns, vocabulario miércoles,
Acuérdense que viene
jueves.
actividad. Ya no dice homework.
Sí, no, es que no viene ninguna actividad, bueno, no.
No hay.
Viene clases grabadas lunes, martes, jueves 3, y luego ya se baja, ya no viene abajo nada. Ay,
Se reportaron.
hay que volver a entrar.
Espérame, lo van a checar.
No, ahí está. Se fue.
¿No?
Espérame, lo van a checar. ¿Es de qué semana? ¿La 3?
3.
La 3.
Ajá.
A ver.
No, parece que no tenga actividades.
Entonces, ahorita pues ahorita lo checo. Si no, no se preocupen.
No estamos apurados. No, yo me di
cuenta que no estás preocupada.
No estamos preocupados de crear.
Bueno, muy bien. Sigo volteada, sigo de cabeza.
Upside down.
Okay. Bueno, seguimos con lo que estábamos, muchachones.
Ok.
Aquí, ahí, mero, sí. Bueno, aquí está. Any question about this grammar topic? Un poco.
What is better to talk? To use the direct speech, just be careful, or to say indirect? Peter say to be careful if you go out during the storm. It's the same, or
This one?
no? The first one. The first one, direct speech. I am asking, what is the difference to use one or another one? I don't know.
Direct speech is when you want to be informal. Yes? Cuando lo dicen tal cual. Cuando tú lo dices tal cual. Peter said, be careful if you go out during the storm. Punto. Así te lo dijo él, así lo pasas tú la información. Indirect speech es más formal. Un poquito más formal y ya le cambias. Para ser formal, lo tienes que modificar. Peter dijo que tengas cuidado. Aquí es sé cuidadoso y aquí es que tengas cuidado si sales durante la tormenta. Se fijan, a lo mejor es un poco cambia en cuanto a ser más formal. No tan directo, pues, pasar la información.
Ok.
Bueno, ¿alguna otra duda, pregunta?
No.
¿No?
I can go out.
Ok. Bueno.
No.
Ok, entonces vamos a pasar aquí a lo que sigue. Dice, grammar practice. Rewrite each statement in indirect speech. Make necessary changes to pronouns. Aquí me piden que haga cambios si hay necesidad. Vamos a ver, dice, Martha told me, be home before the snowstorm. Así como me lo dijo ella. Yo voy a pasar la información. Cuando yo paso la información es cuando hago la modificación. ¿Sí? Martha told me to be home before the snowstorm. Aquí está. Now, number 2. Albita.
Everyone is saying, get ready for a big storm. They say.
Ok. They said. ¿Qué más?
They said.
Uh-huh.
Said. They said to get ready for a big storm.
Ajá. To get ready for a big storm.
Pero así es, they said, ¿no?
Pero fíjate bien, aquí sí, ¿por qué? Aquí sí, porque está en pasado. ¿Y aquí en qué tiempo está?
En presente.
Continuo. Entonces no puedo modificar. Esto sí no lo puedo modificar, ¿eh, muchachos?
Entonces, they saying
Ajá.
or
Everyone.
everyone.
Everyone is saying.
Everyone is saying to get ready for a big storm.
Excellent. Ahora sí. Ujú. Okay. Number 3, George.
The radio says,
Ajá.
get supplies of food and water in case the roads are closed.
Excellent. Muy
The
bien.
radio say to get supplies of food and water in case of roads are closed. In case the roads are closed. To get supplies
To get
of food.
supplies. Yes. Mhm. That's right.
They told her, don't be home too late this afternoon.
Mhm.
They told her to be home.
Negative. Acuérdate, como how to.
They told her not to be home too late this afternoon.
Excellent. Muy bien. George, please.
Maria always tell them, don't leave your doors open. Maria always tells them not to leave.
Yes.
Not to leave your doors open.
Excellent. Muy bien. 6.
Car
Sorry.
told me, call me when you hear the news. Car told me to call him when I hear the news.
Excellent. Ahí está. Muy bien. Any question up to now?
No.
No.
But I know.
Which one? The last one, Carl told me
Yes.
to call me.
To call him.
To call him.
When I hear the news.
When I hear the news.
Estoy pasando el chisme, o bueno, la noticia. Que le hable cuando yo escuche las noticias.
Así es. Okay. Continue. For each sentence, say what you think the speaker's original words were. Take turns. Example, he asked them to call him when it starts raining. Please call me when it starts raining. Aquí es.
A ver.
Tú creas. Vamos a ver, Albita, number 2.
A ver, let me understand. For each sentence, say that you think the speaker original word their rounds. He asked them to call him when it starts raining. Please call me when it starts raining. Ya, ok. Vamos a hacer al revés.
Así es, ajá.
The newspaper said to leave a window or door open when there's going to be a severe storm. Read the newspaper. No. Newspapers. Ay, eso está más difícil. The newspaper said.
No, eliminas eso. Ya no es necesario, nada más lo que te dijeron.
Leave the windows open, or leave the windows or door open.
Yes.
Leave the windows open when there's going to be a severe storm.
Excellent. Así es.
Ya.
Okay. Number 3.
He told his parents to read the emergency instructions in the newspaper. Read the emergency instructions in the newspaper.
Excellent. Así es. Alvita, number 4.
Wright told Allison to look for the history about him in the paper on Tuesday. Wright told Allison to look for the history about him in the paper on Tuesday.
About him or about me?
A ver. Told Allison to look for the history about him. Why about me?
A ver, Ray told Allison to look for the story about him in the... no, sí estás bien. No, sí.
Look for the history about him in the paper on Tuesday.
Es que ahora lo tienes que regresar como se lo dijo. Por eso cambia de him a me.
¿Sí? Wright told Allison. Look for the history. A ver. Look for the history about
me.
About me.
Why me?
Porque es de cuenta que lo estás como pasando el chisme. Mira, me dijo,
Write down something.
o sea, como te lo dijo originalmente él.
Pero le dijo a Alison, no me dijo a mí.
Es como si tú fueras a Allison.
Alison to look about him. Bueno.
Ujú.
Look the history about me in the paper on Tuesday.
Ajá. A ver, George.
Which one?
5.
5. She asked him to pick up some food for her on the way home. Will you please pick up some food for me on the way home? Oh, no?
Pick up, sin speak up.
Pick up some food for her?
For
Or
me.
For me
Ajá.
on the way home. Pick up some food for me on the way home.
Así es. Lo están regresando el mensaje, como se los dijeron a ustedes directamente. Ok. Number 6. Albita.
They told me not to wait. No, not to wait until the snow gets heavy. Not to wait until the snow gets heavy.
Fuerte. Tienes que regresarlo al mensaje original, Albita. Si es not to, ¿qué auxiliar vas a decir?
Don't wait until the snow gets heavy.
Así es. Es el mensaje original. Aquí ya hicieron lo contrario a esto.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Muy bien, no de esa risa. No sé si es risa de nervios o risas no.
De nervios, maestra.
Ok, muy bien. Bueno, muchachones, pues me despido. Los veo. Ya no lo va a aparecer porque salgo de cabeza. Ok, nos vemos el lunes, muchachos. Descansen. Excelente fin de semana y gracias por haber estado aquí. Bye, bye.
Y chequen lo de la tarea, maestra.
¡Ay! Ahorita lo checo eso, muchachos. No se me desesperen.
Ok, no, gracias.
Bye.